something else that I feel like is happening right now in our world is cancel culture, people getting canceled. And one of my first videos that I actually saw of you, it was one that James had sent me, was your Exposed series. And I'm curious, like, okay, because first of all, if you have an Exposed video series, who's going to cancel you? Like, you've already, essentially done what cancel culture does to yourself.
Right.
You're like, hey, I was first to it. But I'm curious, like, do you think that is the next movement for celebrity videos? Kind of like I Am Second. Do you think we're going to see a bunch of celebrities now doing these videos where they expose themselves? And also, what was your thought process behind doing those videos?
I hope so. I hope we see more of that, because I think then you get a better paradigm for where a celebrity's coming from and understanding what they're about and understanding their perspective. I think some of what I did is preemptively so that you can't dig up anything on me. Like, there's nothing to dig up. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm still trying to discover things. Here's my story. So that is preemptive. Like, that is preemptive, transparent, taking ownership of the narrative. Because I think when you don't do that, then you open yourself up to potentially, if you say something that people weren't expecting, right? And it's like, well, no, this is what I've always been on. Like, what are you talking about, right? So I think you have to, I think in my opinion, you should do it preemptively, because if you don't do it preemptively, then somebody's going to try to dig that up. I think when I think of cancel culture, I think right now of what the Baby is going through. I don't know if you know who the Baby is. He's a rapper. The Baby is a fascinating rapper. He makes cool music. But it's very misogynistic, and it's very violent at times, right? And the Baby has this long track record of being combative and violent on camera with fans, with his security with fans, right? And what really kind of got him to take off, and this is a little dark, those of you guys that know the backstory. So he was already making music. He showed up to South by Southwest in 2017 with a diaper on, like the Baby diaper. I think he even went by Baby Jesus at one time.
Oh, wow.
So he shows up. So he's been chipping away at music, been doing it for a long time. But where he went viral is there were 2 shooting cases back to back where he fought off people in self-defense. And one of the folks was him with his family shopping at Walmart, and somebody pulled up on him and tried him. And because North Carolina is, like, I think, a open carry state or whatever, and he ends up getting into an altercation and killing this dude.
Wow.
And then goes viral, right? And then it goes viral. Like, that story goes viral, and then all of a sudden his music started kind of bubbling up again, and he took off, and he had to deal with Interscope. And prior to this, he was already in the music industry. And, like, what kind of set him up, I mean, the music was always, like, catchy and fun, but was this, like, these violent incidences. And so and then there was another home invasion where someone broke into his house, he shot somebody, killed him. I don't know if he killed him that time. So this dude is, like, he's killed people, right, in self-defense, and I'm all for your Second Amendment rights. But he didn't just do that. Like, he dropped a mixtape, like, a week after, conveniently timed. He kind of talks about it a lot, talks about that he's, like, has bodies, he's killed people before. Like, he's talked about that before. And again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but this dude is a documented killer with a very violent music at times, right? And he does these, and says these things in kind of, like, funny ways, and what happened in the last week and a half is he performed at Rolling Loud, and he made some comments that they were very crass comments about, they were trying to get the crowd hype, and he was like, yo, if you ain't got HIV AIDS, put your phones up. If you're a woman and your coochie smells like water, put your phones up. If you ain't in the parking lot doing oral on another gentleman, put your phones up. So he says these things,
wow,
right? And they're trying to get the crowd. Now this is gonna translate super weird when you don't hear the crowd and you're not there for the experience. But they're just trying to do call and response for crowd participation stuff, not to justify anything you just said. And what happened was that set off, like, a wild course of events, and they were saying that these are homophobic statements that tie into AIDS, that tie into giving gentlemen oral in a parking lot, right? And the baby's like, what? Like, I have gay fans. This isn't, what are you guys talking about? You know? And he kept trying to brush it off, kept trying to brush it off. And then he had like 4 or 5 festivals canceled back to back. Lollapalooza was canceled. Austin Festival. Like, he just got dropped off of all of these festivals back to back. Shows started getting So here's a guy who is a documented killer. Okay? There's multiple videos of him beating people up or getting into scuffles with people, or his bodyguards beating up fans that he felt were disrespectful to him. His music is wildly misogynistic. It's fairly violent. And the thing that gets him canceled is not rapping about murder. It's about saying something kind of insensitive around something else kind of insensitive regarding to the LGBTQ community. Right. That's where we are in this space. And so he issued multiple apologies. And then finally, like the last, and he like, it was more like clearing up, like, guys, no, like, I don't have a problem with gay people. Like, there was a gay person in the front row of the show. Like, what are you talking about? And it just got worse and worse and worse. And then he finally issued, like, you know, people don't let you grow before you, I'm still trying to educate myself on this topic and how insensitive like, he issued like a full on like apology. And it just goes to show that these are the things that can get you canceled in the moment. And he did his best to own his narrative as well as he could, but there's still this weird imbalance where, like, rapping about murder and rapping about women giving you oral whenever you want them and how much of a, you know, player you are is okay. Misogyny is okay. Violence is okay. Murder is okay. But this is absolutely not okay. And if you dare say anything about it, you're canceled. I mean, and it was like guys like Questlove from The Roots and everybody coming out. And I'm not justifying what he said, but I'm saying that's the space we're in, where you can say something and not even on paper sound crazy, but because of the context and the climate, now you have 4 or 5 festivals back to back getting canceled, right? And like, it's now impacting your entire momentum. So I don't know how to navigate that for someone like the baby. Like, how does he work through that? Like, you know, and the hypocrisy in all of this, like the double standards in all of this. That's the thing that is frustrating about cancel culture, is it's just, really? Like, this is what gets him canceled? Like, all the other stuff's okay though, you know?
Hey y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow, that is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
Smash the like button on this video.